Well, hello everyone. She's back. I was so tired last night when I did that reading last night, and I could tell it when I watched it, but I went ahead and put it up. I decided I'm going to start doing these readings when I'm a little more awake. Maybe my mind will be a little clearer. And I do realize that it kind of sounded like I was harping on all the medias last night, and I wasn't. I'm so glad there's so many different ones. Um, it is amazing when you get away from the corporate news and start watching it from other places, and then you go back to the corporate news. It looks a little different to you where it's coming from. But I mean, Rachel Maddow is my favorite. She makes a great teacher. Love the way she goes over things and back over them for people like me. And of course, Lawrence O'Donnell. I'm in love with him. But so I'm not putting down MSNBC. I love MSNBC. It's just that they're still owned by huge corporate entities, and it does show through in their news a lot. Anyway, with all this other, and that debate last night, now that I've had time to think about it and stuff, it was really good. I was really surprised. I thought it was going to be a big cluster up, being on the stage like that with all those people, but they did really well. And I don't remember what his name is, but the guy to the far left facing you that kept butting in, to me, he was a big a-hole, but I'm a Libra, so anybody that's that pushy and that butty in and that uninteresting to me is boring. And I felt like he was uneducated on what he was talking about too. But I loved Elizabeth Warren. I really, really liked Cory Booker. Hope he gets somewhere in the administration. There was so much talent up on that stage, and that, I don't think I say her name right, Kelsey Gabbard or whatever. She would really be good in anything to do with the armed forces. She could be Secretary of Defense. It's going to be really interesting tonight. I know I seen a real quick clip of Marianne Williamson on The View, and I've always been a fan of hers anyway. I read most of her books, and her Illuminati prayers are the most beautiful, I think, ever for any occasion. But I seen her on The View, and they were like ganging on her. I mean, they didn't even give her a chance to answer where she was coming from. They just kept coming back at her with all these, actually ganging up on her from the left and the right on The View, if there is such a thing as left and right on The View. But she would be wonderful in there in that Cruella de Vil, the one in charge of the schools. She would be so good in her spot. So anyway, they were really impressing, and I was really proud of them, all of them. And even that mayor of New York, I'm not from New York, so I don't have anything against him, and he's always impressed me the few times I've seen him. But when you heard people at some of the news media is going after him, it sounded like that he was terrible. But still, you wonder, which side are their bread being buttered on? So, maybe you need to, whatever. It's hard to run a big city like that. You can't be all over him for everybody. That would be like Donald Trump getting in trouble for everything going on in the world, instead of the things he needs to be getting in trouble for, like those poor babies at the border. I know probably all of you has been having trouble sleeping at night over that. It's bad enough to be inhuman and cruel to little babies, but it's horrible when they're doing it in our name and using our money to do it, to pay these big prisons. It's almost like there's a takeover planned. I've always said that. I don't want to ever sound like a whatever you call a conspiracy theorist, but it's almost like there's been a coup going on that started a few years back, and Trump's just their toy in there. And it just makes you wonder what they're really trying to do. But anyway, today I'm going to read on Ivanka Trump. I just, although I'm so much older than her, it's hard to imagine myself in her spot, although I have a son her age, in fact younger than her. And I just want to see what's going on with her. I keep thinking, if that was my dad, how horrible I would feel. How embarrassed I would be if Donald Trump was my dad, and especially if I were in his government and keeping my mouth shut. I'm sure I'd have the hives and a rash and everything else from keeping this stuff all inside, but that's me. So I want to see, I'm going to do a long layout on her and just see what's going on. And I'm going to try turning this down and then checking it with a mirror, and because I'm actually doing this with no camera. I mean, the camera's pointing the back way because I'm doing it with an iPad, and it's higher resolution if you do the camera in the back. So anyway, all my cards worked better before I got them wet 2 or 3 months ago. They were much easier to shuffle. I tried drying them off immediately with a towel and everything else, but I don't know why it matters so much to me all of a sudden. I used to just grab the cards and it didn't seem to make much difference, but oh, we need to take a minute anyway, and I'll just shut our eyes for just a few seconds and visualize all those little children being fed and cleaned and their diapers being cleaned. Something good going on with them. I just cannot understand the cruelty. It's really gets to people who are paying attention to what's going on. God, not even giving them toothbrushes and then bragging about it. Donald Trump himself bragging about it. It was, how cruel of a president do people want? Anyway, don't go there. Where this is on Ivanka Trump, this is on his daughter, and what in the world is she thinking about him? What in the world is she thinking about her dad and herself and everything else? Well, he's definitely on her mind, but I think he's been on everybody's mind. I'll never be so glad in my life as to get that asshole off my mind. So, her dad is on her mind. She thinks he's totally lost it. We got the King of Cups. Dark, moody, mentally unstable in this particular deck. The Emperor, the King of Cups. Maybe she thinks him being president's what pushed him over the edge. Maybe that's what's going on in her mind. Let's see what comes up. Well, whatever's going on, maybe she's a little worried about herself too, because she's not sleeping at night. She's not sleeping at all. We got the 9 of the 9 of Swords here. She's not sleeping. We got the Queen of Cups upside down here. And I'm not sure if that's Ivanka being so sure she was the Queen of Cups and feeling like she's not anymore, or if that's information that she's taken from Rebecca Mercer and some of the huge money people up there that she's kind of wishing maybe she shouldn't taken and shouldn't have followed. We'll come back and see if we might need a clarifier for that when we're through. Let's see what's going on. In the present now, wow, looky there. She's feeling, got the Eight of Swords, she's feeling very entrapped and she doesn't know which way to turn. Well, that's good. I'm glad to know she's not feeling great. She shouldn't be feeling good. And in her immediate future, we've got the Wheel of Fortune. Things are going to change. And she knows they're going to change. And she's already looking for a place to hide and or a place to go or what she's going to do next. She definitely knows that the apples are all falling off this tree and that she's going to have to find somewhere to go or something to do to save her ass. What's going on with her right now? She's trying to lay low and stay out of the limelight so she don't have to ask any stupid questions about her dad raping other women and everything else. Definitely just trying to hide and actually not even wanting to get out of bed. And all the people around her are feeling overworked and overburdened, just trying to protect her. And she's feeling like there's not enough stuff they could do or enough water they could carry, and you want to call it carrying somebody else's water, to help fix this mess that her dad's put himself and the rest of the world and the United States in. According to Michael Wolff, I'm reading his book out right now, that Siege, he said that Ivanka is the smartest child that Trump has had, known child that he's had, and that he that the I don't remember how he put it, but it came out as both of the boys are dumber than a rock, both of them, and that's why he's not as proud of them as he is Ivanka. Even Trump knows that Ivanka's smarter than they are, but anyway, there's not enough people around that can carry all the water for them that these kids are going to need to be carried to get them out of this totally unscathed, if that's what she's trying to figure out how to do. And the Four of Wands is her hopes and fears. Knowing that the whole family's going to go down and wondering what she's going to do, or she's going to have to turn on them. Really wondering about that. And the outcome, usually when I turn this card over, of course it is upside down, so that's another reason it looks more like a real hanged man. Normally I just feel suspension, things on hold, things pushed back, things not being done. But for some reason, it is upside down, which is supposed to be the total opposite. The minute I looked at it, I just felt like she feels like she's just hung. That there's nothing she can do, that she's there. And so that's why she's laying awake nights trying to figure out how to keep from being the sacrificial lamb. She wished she hadn't had so much faith in her opinion of herself, or maybe other people with more money than the Trumps telling them what to do. She knows her dad is deep sick and mental illness. She's not sleeping nights. And right at this current time, she doesn't even have a clue which way to turn. Um, so that's what's going on with Ivanka today. Um, I would do one on her brother, but I always feel that he's too dumb to even know he's in trouble. And he may still be. It's got to, maybe in the next couple of days I'll do one on him. But that's what I got on Ivanka for today. And turn that back up so it's on. So that's what I've got on Ivanka for today, and I hope you enjoyed that. I feel like I should do another one real quick, but I can't think. I'm going to do a 4 across again on this. This not supposedly, this rape that was committed so many years ago, for some reason is hanging on more than the others. Maybe because the ladies haven't putting her true emotions out there. I'll tell you, I don't know how many things I've been in my life where I felt like I was responsible for things that happened to me. Very similar to that. And it's better just to go on with it, just to say you're a big girl. If this ever comes up again, don't put yourself in that situation. Just don't go there. I think that's the same way with some marriages and stuff. That's why I've been single for 30 years. I was married 3 times. I kept making worse choices as I was going on. And it got to a point it just wasn't worth it. I didn't trust my my judgment that much. And also this lifetime I needed to get away from everything and learn to like myself and learn to grow. And I can't believe how much my life has grown in the last 30 years by studying and everything I've done. But I think I'm going to do just a couple of rows across to see if this allegation is going to go anywhere. I know the lady doing it doesn't want it to go anywhere necessarily. That's not what she's looking for. But let's see. Ooh, heavy burden, heavy burden, heavy burden. So oh, why I have so much trouble with her name. But the writer that wrote the book that's coming out in a couple of days, she's been carrying all this heavy burden for a long time. About the sick upside down king. It's all coming out right now. The stuff that she's kept hidden for so long. Her challenge is the reason she always kept her mouth shut about this and everything is she just didn't want to be out in the cold or feel guilty about decisions she'd made over her life. But when she decided to write about everything that had happened to her in her life, that's what came out. And I haven't read the book, but from what I've heard, I think that was her last encounter with men. I think she's stayed away from them since then. She had had enough bad things happen by then that I think that I think that might have cured her. I don't know. I'll have to read her book when it comes out. And the outcome of that is it looks like they're going to be looking deeper. They are going to go into this a little deeper. Even though she wasn't trying to pursue the rape itself, she wouldn't even call it rape. Although what she described is definitely rape. Maybe she wasn't going to pursue it, but there's others wanting to pursue it. Whoa. She's got lawyers or judges or somebody that are wanting her to pursue this, that's been trying to get a hold of her. And this isn't just the press. This is people, but not judges, really professional lawyers. I think she's got Trump on the run over this, even though he won't admit it. I think it's maybe going to bring some more women out. More women out. More women are coming out that's had similar experiences with him. And just doling a little bit of money out to the poor here and there isn't going to get him out of this like it usually does. Will there be any charges brought up about this? I'll just keep going with the same deck. Well, he was feeling pretty triumphant a couple of days ago about it. There may be, we got temperance upside down. There may be more, I don't know what's wrong with this deck. It seems like the whole thing, I must have got it turned around when I dropped it and picked it back up. So we're just going to do all these as if they're coming out straight, because I think I got my deck turned around. So anyway, this is giving money to the poor. It means the same thing. It means that this is coming out. Money being doled out. Donald Trump was feeling like this was a done deal, and he was feeling pretty victorious over it a couple of days ago. But just letting this gel for just a little while. I don't mean gel like being in jail, just letting it set and go into people's minds. It's becoming a bigger thing. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune for the challenge. So this, for some reason, this, I read last week on this, and it said it was going to be a change. For some reason, this is going to change opinion about him, more so than all these other ones. I don't know if it's the way it was presented or what. This is going to be one of the things that helps drive him out of office. Let's see how far he's moved. I'm going to go with these one more time. Okay. Isn't that funny? Yeah, it's going to help his tower crash down before this is all over. I'm thinking it's probably bringing out more women. And it's also bringing out, I don't know, some people that maybe feel, I have the weirdest feeling about this card. I feel like this is people that's been known for a long time where they ought to be on this issue and on issues against him. But they've been just pushing it back and pushing it back. And when they do finally come out of their frame of thought and start realizing what's going on, they're going to be the biggest pushers of him and getting him out of there and everything else. But the biggest challenge is the news coming out again. There's going to be more news. There's going to be more people coming out. There's more people, more women coming out, and it's definitely going to cause a fight. I'm on more disruption. I'm on the right and the left. I'm just wanting to see if there's going to be any, before this is all said and done, if there's going to be any I know they're not going to come and arrest him for rape, but how about all this other stuff he's in trouble for? Let's see, besides him going, what's going on. More stuff coming out about his absurd sexual life. Oh, records and paperwork from the bedroom. I wonder if the pee-pee tapes are coming out. somebody that thinks his close friend is a nemesis, he turns on him. Military again is coming in. And with this card right here, I have the strangest feeling that he might end up using mental illness to excuse what he's going on and what he's done. That might be what he uses as his defense. Oh, I picked this card up by accident, but that could be his defense too. That illusional delusional, that backs it up. Anyway, we'll see. I might cut this part out, but we'll see what's going on with this. And I want to thank everybody who's joined the channel. Thank you. If you like this video, hit the subscribe button. And I want to thank everybody that's subscribed, everybody that's emailed me for readings. That's lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. lynntarotreadings@gmail.com. That's my address. If you'd like a private reading, get a hold of me there. So if anybody would like a private reading, that would be really great. I'm always ready to do that. I love doing them. And I want to thank everybody very much. Bye-bye now.